Bandit. All right, cool. We are back with episode 12, if I remember correctly. One thing I want to point out before we get started is we did gain another subscriber, another 2 subscribers, and we got 57 views on the SEC preview, which is, I think, the most right now out of all of them.
Except the first episode.
The Big 12. But we did gain 2 subscribers, so appreciate that, whoever did. It doesn't show me because some people can subscribe. Ace probably knows this. You can subscribe without showing who you are.
Yes, you can.
Silently subscribe. So I can't see who it is exactly, but whoever it is, we appreciate it. We up to 15 now. So if we can just keep growing, man, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
You know, no big deal. So, but the thing about subscribers is they'll get notifications when we upload new videos. So they'll get to check out what they want.
That's
and
right.
Of course, we know that some people, some of these, subscribers, maybe they're just SEC fans and they wanted to watch the SEC episode, and maybe they'll choose different episodes to watch throughout the year. That's cool. I know not everybody wants to really hear about the Big 12 or ACC, but we have to expand to pretty much every audience if we want views. So we kind of have to do that. But anyways, we're on episode 12 now, and we just finished up our Power 4 preview of all the Power 4 conferences. We did Big 12, ACC, Big 10, and now the SEC last week. We're here today to go over our college football playoff previews and our predictions for the 12-man or 12-team college football playoff. And we're going to break this down, and we're going to do it in quads. So we're going to do 12 through 9, 8 through 5, and then 4 through 1, and then we can get into the matchups after that of each person's and what we kind of identify as interesting. But yeah, we should have my Uncle Ruben might join here in a little bit. He can kind of give a Clemson preview. But again, after we do our 12-man college football preview, we're going to go into a South Carolina and Clemson breakdown. If Ruben gets on, we'll go depth more into Clemson. If not, we'll focus more on South Carolina and maybe get to that later in another episode. It's no big deal. So
hoping his availability lets him get on here for a while. So he's got some insight, and he has different. He's from a different fan base. He's a Clemson fan, so
yeah. And him and Christopher Wilson would get along very well.
That's right. That's right. And he is he's not a fan of any of the teams we pull for. So all his teams are different.
Yeah. His pro teams are New York based because that's where he's from. So it makes sense. But anyways,
he came here when he was like in middle school.
Yeah. So we're going to go into it. First off, I want to start off I'll give my 12 through 9 of who I have. And I actually had to be corrected because I didn't think that a G5 team that was ranked, the highest one, had to automatically get in the playoff. So I made a little change right before we came on air.
I had to look at that too.
Chief pointed that out correctly to me. I thought it was just top 12 and whatever the committee decides. And to me, if a G5 team has 2 losses and they're ranked 25, they don't deserve to get in the playoff. But
yeah, I'm not saying I agree with it, but now it is all. You're not going to have one of those teams. There will be. What is that? What is that?
Probably something on Ace's end.
All right. There's no snare in my head. So you just threw me off totally. Hey, let him in. But
let's admit him and see.
It is extremely unusual. Hey,
there we go.
Yeah, but listen, it's extremely unusual that you would have no 10-win non-Power 5 team. Okay, one of those. I mean,
correct.
Look, I got possibilities too from my playoffs. I got my team that I picked to get in, but I've got possibilities as well. So yeah, but I don't agree that gets you in automatically. But think about this, automatically whoever wins the SEC gets in, whoever wins the ACC. So, I mean, it's the same thing. I'm okay with it, and it's the rules. So I pick my playoff field based on the rules.
Okay. So let me catch up real quick. Real quick. We're going to go over each of our 12-team playoffs or our 12 teams in the playoff of who we got. And then we are going to go into the Clemson preview to let you go with that because I know you're more short on time, and I hope we can get it in before then, and then we'll go into the South Carolina.
I'm good now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna try to keep it at about an hour. Obviously, we end up going over because we have a lot of sidebars and little arguments here and there, and that's totally fine. That's what we're here for. So, but so we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna start with.
Aiden, do you ever not eat?
Funny, I haven't eaten today.
Oh.
I haven't eaten today.
This
dude
lunches.
Wake up at 2. So
Ace didn't get up until afternoon. Of course, we were a little late last night. Yeah.
4th of July.
fireworks.
See, but here's the
and
thing.
calm
Here's the
food.
thing. Okay, it's not. It's all right. Ace munches throughout the show all the time. If everybody's quiet, we listen carefully, you'll hear him smacking.
Yeah, he's eating something.
Oh, that's,
Always.
I mean,
I try to go on mute.
it's all good. I was
Yeah,
just
use that
wondering.
mute button.
You know, it's just every time I see you, you're eating that. So I just figured I wanted to make sure that that was just you and not just a drone.
That's me, Ruben.
All right, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start 12 through 9, and then work our way down. So we're gonna break it up into quads of our 12 through 9, 8 through 5, 4 through 1. I'll start with mine. I'll pass it around to y'all. I initially, Ruben, I had Clemson in at 12, but Chief did bring up a good point, and I was kind of torn because I'm like I'm trying to figure out the field of the ACC. I don't know it very well, but I did have 3 ACC teams in initially. Chief pointed out that the highest ranking a group of 6 conference has to get into the playoff. That's one of the committee's things. And so I had to switch Clemson out with Tulane, who I had at 12-1. I had Clemson at 10-2. I wanted them in at 12. I could still, and here's the thing is we're going to have bubble teams. So Clemson, Houston, Ole Miss, Tennessee are all teams for me that are on the bubble that are right there that could easily get in, barring 1 or 2 games here and there, or depending on how they end up. But what I had was Tulane at 12. I had Louisville at 11. ACC runner-up. I had Notre Dame at 10 as the independent, and I had Georgia at 9, and that was my 12 through 9. Whoever wants to go, we'll go Chief. We'll go Ruben, Chief, and Ace if they have their 12 through 9, or if you have a set field. I didn't give you much prep time, Ruben, so I apologize.
Yeah, I was putting the thing. If somebody else is ready, they can go ahead and go. Good.
Go ahead,
I
Ace.
like those.
Yeah, I'll go. At my 12, I have Boise State making it. That is my
okay.
I just think they're better than Tulane overall. But who knows, man? And I'm truthfully, Drew, I agree with what you said. What we were talking about before all this. Group of 6 team, probably a team like a bubble team. Like I have Clemson as my bubble team, who's just outside of the college football playoffs, but could be in the playoffs. Should be there based off of a more competitive stature than Boise State, who I think is going to get smacked by the 5 seed. Yeah. But so yeah, I have them at 12. I have BYU at 11. I have USC at 10, and I have Texas A&M at 9.
Yeah, Southern Cal, not South Carolina, obviously.
Yeah, no, I don't have South Carolina even close.
You had who at 9?
A&M.
Okay, all right. A&M. It's a good.
I know.
It's good 12 through 9. I think you're a little low on A&M there. But
I know. I was about to say that. I know you guys probably have them top 6, maybe at that 7th spot.
All right.
But
Chief, go ahead. You 12 through 9.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry. Oh, and by the way, while he's waiting, Ruben, we did already clarify that we all disagree with the whole G5 top rank has to be in. I think that's stupid. If you're a G5 and you've lost 2 games, right, and you somehow are the highest ranked out of that field, if an ACC or an SEC team or Big Ten team has 2 losses, they should get in over you, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll eventually change. There'll probably be some drama this year based on that. There has to have drama before they make a change because, common sense doesn't work well in the college football playoff committee.
No, we've seen it. That's all right. Chief, you got it?
Yeah, give me just a second. Here.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine. But that's what's messing this up is this group of 5 thing is because we have to keep that in consideration when we don't even know who they playing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
One day they might have somebody who's a stud, and guess what? Lane Kiffin might give him $1 million, and he's not going to be there no more. And how are you going to justify that? They can't say that because there's no rule against it. He can leave. Yeah. So now we just pick somebody who had a stud, who's not even going to have a stud by the time it gets to the playoffs. So
probably.
There you go with the NCAA shenanigans from the jump. We can't even get a correct 12 because they can't even have the right guidelines that make sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's what I've talked about for a while. By the way, I will say I do have 3 undefeated teams this year. Just putting that out there.
I can see that. That's possible.
And the 3
on the schedules yet, but it's possible.
Yeah, Clemson's one of them.
Yeah. Look, hey, we've already identified that Ace's alter ego, Christopher Wilson, is the biggest Clemson fan ever. So,
well,
Look, no, Ruben. I spent a lot of time in Clemson, man. I know too many Clemson people, man. All right, I'm gonna get jumped if I say anything too harsh. Okay, I'm sorry. So many of them are so hopeful. So I gotta please them a little bit. But I for real have Clemson going 10-2. Like seriously, I have them going 10-2.
I don't see them getting no worse than that. And I ain't even got to talk. I haven't even looked at all the schedule. I've been around, and it's kind of biased on my half because I've been driving recruits and picking up potential recruits and recruits that signed and committed and transfer portal people. And so I've been inside the gates and the doors, and I've been looking, and I've been seeing the lack of a better term, pep in the step out of everybody. And it's not something that's been around that program often. And when it has, good things has happened. But I just say that get to that part when it's my time to talk about Clemson. But it's crazy going on. I agree with Ace. There's some things that make sense for 10-2, period, point blank, no matter what last year looked like.
Yeah. All right, Chief.
All right. So I
know you were having a hard time getting your 10 through 12. So
yeah. Well, so I have Boise State at 12. I have Southern Cal at 11, and that's because they're going to be the fourth team in from the Big Ten. So, and then I have Texas Tech getting in, and I got them as actually the second team from the Big 12. So, and then I have Texas A&M
at 9.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the reason I have Texas A&M there is, they've got to play at Alabama, and that's whatever, I think they'll win that. But they have to play at LSU, at Oklahoma, and they have Texas. They don't get Georgia, but they get everybody else. So Boise State, 12, Southern Cal, Texas Tech, and then Texas A&M, which means that none of those teams host. So
yeah, they got a tough SEC field to go through. So.
They do. Yeah. They do. But if you looked at last week, I have Texas A&M at 12-0 in the regular season, so which is interesting. So, but yeah, Ruben, if you're ready with your 12-9, if not, I can go into mine and we can come back to yours.
Nah, I got something. We'll go ahead and go with the Boise State because that seems like the blue field's a fan favorite. I'm picking Boise State for Mike since he hated that field, and then 11 to Clemson just because that's just my quick thoughts. I can't keep him out this playoff. I don't see him not making the playoff. And again, there's no bias based on what I've seen inside those doors. But again, that's why I get to pick my top 12. Southern California at 10 and Texas Tech at 9.
All right. Interesting little field there. Y'all are kind of a little bit closer. You were closer to Ace and Chief there. So that makes sense.
I really, even with Sorsby gone, that coach is he's the Signetti of the blue bloods out of Texas. He is I would run through a wall for that guy, and I only heard him talk a few times, and my body hurts.
Yeah.
So whoever he has back there, I think he's gonna.
There's two guys I feel like that about. I feel like that about Golden at Ole Miss too. I think those two guys get more out of their players.
Yeah,
I think they command respect.
They do. I agree. There's something about Golden that's missing, though, for me. I don't know what it is, and I haven't figured out, and he may prove me wrong this season. He just those couple games was great, and he did do a phenomenal job with minimal time, with not his culture, without his people in the whole 9 yards. So I'm curious to see how that is this season. But no, you're right. He does have that it factor of making sure that you grabbing everybody's attention.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, it was our 12 through 9. I'm gonna go into mine. I got my 8 through 5 here, and this is a little bit different. But I got Texas Tech at 8. I have them at 12-1. I have them as Big 12 runner-up. Only one loss. The reason I have them at 12-0 at the regular season is BYU and Texas Tech don't play each other at the regular season, and that's why I think both of them could easily go 12-0. 7, I have Oregon at 11-1. Like I had them losing to, I forgot who I had them losing to. I think it was Ohio State or whatever. But I have them at 11-1. They don't go to the Big Ten championship for me. I had Ohio State and Indiana in there. But I have Oregon at 7. I have Ohio State at 6 at 11-2. Big Ten runner-up. That second loss is from Indiana, obviously, in the Big Ten championship. And then at number 5, I have Texas A&M at 12-1. I had them 12-0 in the regular season. I have them losing to Texas in the SEC championship. So that's my 8 through 5. Texas Tech at 8, Oregon at 7, Ohio State at 6, and Texas A&M at 5. Ace.
At number 8, I got Oregon. At number 7, I have Texas Tech. At number 6, I have Miami. They are my ACC champs. I have Clemson at 2, just behind them. They are my only ACC team in here, and that's just because I think the 1 through 4 to me are just the without a doubt easy answers for what I've seen. So, and that 5, I have Notre Dame. I just think head to head, Notre Dame would beat Miami. I think that gives them the edge over them going into playoff rankings. So then that is Notre Dame at 5, Miami at 6, Texas Tech at 7, Oregon at 8.
All right, that's
Okay.
an interesting. All right,
I have Notre Dame at 8. Okay, and Notre Dame. So they have. I mean, it's not a hard schedule. Okay, they're going to end up with 10, maybe 11 wins. They could possibly be undefeated. Although I think Miami's going to beat them. So I got them in there. I think they'll have 2 losses. 7, I got Texas Tech. So sorry. 7, I got Texas. Sorry, and this is just because. Okay, so Texas's schedule, and this isn't just a conference. This is overall. So I've got Ohio State. They at Oklahoma. They've got Ole Miss. They've at LSU, and they're at A&E. That's tough, man. Okay,
yeah.
I don't see how they don't get there without 2 losses. Maybe 3. I suppose it's possible they get to 1, but it's very possible they end up with 3 losses and still get in. So number 6, I got Ohio State, and I got them there for the exact same reason. Okay, if you look at Ohio State, so they've got at Texas, so those 2 play each other. Of course, then they've got to play at Indiana. They've got to go to Southern Cal. Then they've got Oregon and they got Michigan. We talked about this when we did our Big Ten show. That is just tough. So, I almost feel bad for them. And then, of course, I got BYU at 5. I got them winning the Big 12, and there's no more Pac-12. So I've got Notre Dame 8, Texas 7, Ohio State 6, and BYU 5.
I got Oklahoma 8. I got Ole Miss 7, Notre Dame 6, and Oregon 5. I don't know. Oklahoma's been a sleeper. Nobody. Venables is primed and ready. He's been at the cusp of getting the offensive side. Defense has always been there, but he's finally got his offensive pieces together. Not sure on what that quarterback's going to do, but I don't think that they have to have a superstar quarterback to get some wins based on their schedule. They don't have a daunting SEC schedule like most of the time they do, and the games that they have that are tough are at home. So we'll see.
I like Mateer. I think he's a good quarterback.
If he stays healthy, for sure.
I think I've got Oklahoma 5th in the SEC. That's why I didn't put them in. I don't think 5 teams from a conference are going to get in ever again. So I think 4 is a stretch.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only reason I have 4 is the Big Ten. Honestly, I mean, the SEC top to bottom is the best conference, but at the top, the Big Ten is just better. Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon are a skosh better than Texas, Texas A&M, and Georgia. That's what I think. Okay, I think you jumble them up and play. You run 3 matches and you run them. I think maybe the SEC could win 2, but I think the Big Ten wins 2 out of 3. So, and then Southern Cal, who is going to have a legit defensive coordinator to a good offense. Yeah. So I had to put them in. So Oklahoma's the only one that I wouldn't have out of that, Ruben. But I do like Mateer, and Venables is definitely one of the best defensive coaches in the country.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we all got our 8 through 5. Now we go to 4 through 1, which is
all
surprising.
right.
And we'll discuss afterwards once we get everybody's in. But this is who's getting the buys for me.
And just to touch again, Drew, the top 4 seeds are not the Power 4 winners. Okay, this is how the committee can seed them any way they want. So it opens it up. So anyway, go ahead, Drew.
Yes, I have Texas at 4. They're the SEC champion to me. I think they do get through that rough schedule, and I think they do easily, 10-2 at the very worst, but I think they're an 11-1, possibly undefeated team. I'm not 100% sold, but I think that when they get an SEC championship, I think they'll get over that hump. I think they finally win it. I have them at 4. And then my 3, 2, and 1 are my 3 undefeated teams. I have BYU at 13-0. BYU 13-0, Big 12 conference champion. Number 2, I got Miami 13-0. ACC champion. Number 1, I got Indiana 13-0 again. Hey, Google me. I win. All right. Let me tell you something.
Drew,
this is why Indiana.
Damn it, I'm going first next time because I'm gonna do it anyway. Go. I did not steal anything from you. I have this plan. Go ahead.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. I looked at Indiana. Okay, same defense. Literally the same defense coming.
Yes.
Back. 2, they just got a Fernando Mendoza type quarterback to replace him in Hoover from TCU. under a Signetti offense with someone like him at the helm and the offensive coaches they have and the weapons that they're going to have. I think they're going to be deep at running back, receiver, and the added O-line in the portal. I just think that Indiana doesn't miss. They didn't drop off any at all. I think Signetti knows exactly how to reload at this point. I think look, we talked about this, and I don't know, Ruben didn't get to hear it, but we talked about it in the last episode. Signetti might be the one that could out Saban if they coached against each other. I mean, the dude's insane. It's just what he does. So that's my top 4. Texas as the SEC champion, and I did have conference champions in my top 4, but most of it's because 3 of them went undefeated. How do you not put them in the top 3 when they went undefeated? So I have BYU 13-0, Miami at 2, 13-0, and Indiana at 1, 13-0. Those are my 4 buys.
All right, I'm going to go ahead because the same thing, except I had BYU at 5, so I have Oregon at 4. All right, Oregon at Southern Cal, Ohio State, Michigan. They don't play Indiana, so that's their 3 games, okay? They will win 2 of those games. In fact, I think they're just going to flat out beat Michigan. At Southern Cal, it's going to be interesting, and so it comes down to Ohio State. What I have is I don't have any undefeated teams, okay? Well, I do have one, I'm sorry. But and then I have Georgia at 3. I got Miami at 2. I got Miami undefeated. Okay. Now I have Indiana as my number 1. And again, just Google me. I mean, that's what the dude is legit. Okay. You can say, hey, look, I just win all the time. Well, that's great. But then when you go out there and you do it, hey,
yeah,
I'm with you. So,
especially at Indiana.
And the reason I have them number 1 is so they play Ohio State at Michigan and they play Southern Cal. Okay. They may lose one of those, but they're still going to win the championship. And they may not. So, but they, nobody else on their schedule is going to be able to beat them. So, and then they're going to play in that conference championship. They're going to win that. And I think because of the schedule, they'll be there. Otherwise, I suppose the committee they get a lot of crap if that happened, because Miami would be like, how are we undefeated and not there or whatever? Miami's toughest game, okay, is Notre Dame. After that, there's only 2 teams on that schedule that can even come close to beating them, and that's Clemson and Virginia Tech. Okay, nobody else can touch them. All right, they have to fall on their faces. All right, I like the coach. I mean, this guy, and he's a Miami guy. I don't know. I feel like last year. Heck, I mean, they gave Indiana a run. They got down and came back. So that's mine. Oregon 4, Georgia 3, Miami 2, and Indiana 1.
All right, Ace, Ruben, you want to finish off? Yeah, is everyone?
Yeah, I'll finish out mine. So obviously I have Texas undefeated. I have Ohio State, I believe, undefeated. I think I have Georgia undefeated as well, and I have Indiana in here. I would bet they give you my placements, and I have them at, I think, 1 loss. I know I have them all here for a reason. Okay, so at number 4, I have Georgia. See, it's really hard to not put this Georgia team top 4 at least. And I had a buddy, Shaquille Haynes, that I know really well. He's a big Georgia fan. I talked to him Tuesday or something, and we were talking about this, prepared. I was telling him about the podcast and stuff, and he was like, "You got Georgia, big Georgia fan." From Georgia and everything. It's like, got Georgia number 4, right? Top 4 at least. I was like, I think I have them right at 3 or 4. And then we talked about it. So
just some random guy.
He loves
making Ace's list.
Ace does not want to step on any toes, man. He does not.
No, well, I was gonna have Georgia top 4 anyway.
That's why he will not do good in politics.
Christopher Wilson will step on your toes, but Ace won't.
Yeah. Y'all are funny. All right. I have
here's something.
Indiana at number 3.
Okay. Well, here's something, Ace. This is Georgia's schedule. Okay, 9 easy wins.
Yep.
Oklahoma at home, they're going to win that game.
They win.
At Alabama, they're going to thump Bama. Okay. I think Kirby's tired or whatever. At Ole Miss, that's the only game I could see they might lose. I mean, that's the thing. They don't play A&M. They don't play Texas. They don't play any. I mean, they got. How in the world did they get that lucky? If they don't make the playoffs, man, that's on Kirby.
Yeah,
they have.
Yes, it will be. Let's let him finish his top 4, and then I'll put my stamp on that statement.
So I have Indiana at number 3. I know y'all just love to glaze Signetti, and Go right ahead. Rightfully so.
Who else is there?
But I just
It is
think Ohio
decided.
State's got it. I have them ahead. I have Texas as number 2, going undefeated in the SEC. I think Texas is all around the best SEC team, and I know that's crazy because most places I have Georgia over them. But I just think Texas has everything all around. They're too complete.
Roster, you better win something at some point.
Texas
and
has
then I
6
have
games that they can
I
lose.
have Ohio
Georgia
State
has
number
1.
1.
Yep, that's right.
Also, winning.
Best offense. Look, that's going to be
winning
the best
this
offense in the country. Okay.
What
I
Ohio
mean,
State?
Sayan
Yeah.
and Smith,
Yeah.
man, and then you got Bo Jackson.
It is.
But Smith's has got the worst. All he did last year was drop balls, and
Oh,
nobody
he
said
did drop
anything
balls.
because he got an O on the side of his helmet.
Every
Legit.
spring training game.
Nobody said anything because he got an O on his helmet.
I watch their games.
It don't matter. He got
Jeremiah
drop balls
Smith really is like that.
when it
He's like
counted.
that.
Them balls was on the ground, not his hand.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
Ohio
I'm
State
just
is going to be
saying.
the most fun
They
team to
all
watch
they-
this year.
They're going to
Look,
score
is he
over
an
60
athlete?
points 3 times this year.
Is he an athlete? No doubt. But he took all the bullshit games and stat padded himself last year, and that's why his numbers were what they were. When they counted and he played against a real
Let's get him
team,
some good gloves.
that boy dropped the ball.
I'm not going to
4
disagree,
times.
Ruben. I'm not going to
4
disagree,
times
Ruben.
in one game.
I love this.
4.
Hey.
It don't even matter,
You
though.
know,
It don't even matter. Hey,
I would've lost a
maybe
lot
he
of
isn't the
money.
best receiver on his team. They got 2 guys just like him.
Hey,
They got 2 guys
I'm
just
not,
like him.
I'm not
That's
denying
you
why
it.
something.
Ohio State produces the best receivers year by year. It's something they do to just develop.
here's what's
Jeremiah Smith is
I would've lost
great.
a
He's
lot
going to be
of
great in
money.
the NFL.
funny because if there was a betting pool, I would have put that the first argument was going to be Stephen Ruben, not Ruben and Ace.
No, we
All
get
right.
it. We get
Ruben,
it.
Ruben, give us your 4.
All right. I'm mixing it all up for y'all. Y'all about to be pissed off because Georgia's not even in my top 12. Period. All right.
Who's going to beat them? South Carolina?
Maybe
Probably because every time they got a cupcake schedule.
You said
they
Georgia's
show
not
up.
in your top 12?
No, they're not. Call your boy up. Call your boy
okay,
up
Ace,
right now.
let him give us 20. Ace, be quiet. Let him give us 20. Let
Yeah,
him give
call
us
your
12.
boy
Let him
up and let him know. Indiana's number 4. Ohio State's number 3. A&M's number 2. And Texas is number 1. Period.
There we
There's
go.
just Ohio
The Texas
State's
and the
gonna
A&M
lose.
respect. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what
Yeah.
Texas has got it. They got the money and they got the athletes. Period. Man, they brought it halfway through.
Texas Tech wants a piece of them.
I agree, and Texas is scared
That
to
guy
do
wants a
it, and
piece.
for a reason,
Yeah.
because they know
Georgia.
they're not ready for it. At the end of the
No.
season, the way their schedule is,
They do have to
build
play
up for
Ohio
it
State.
at the end, right? And that's why I feel Ohio State will get. They're going to get exposed in that game and in one of the other Big Ten games. They got great athletes, but the coach is a roller coaster ride. He can. The reason why they won last year wasn't because of him. It's because Slayton threw the ball like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Look, I'll tell you, that's something else too. Week 2, Texas and Ohio State. That is an NFL defense against
Yes.
an NFL offense.
Yes.
That is going to be a very, very good game.
Yes,
Probably the
agreed.
game gets decided by what Ohio State's defense does against Texas's offense. And in that case, I give the nod to Texas's offense. So I think at home, I think they're going to beat Ohio State. So, that's why I got Ohio State outside my top 4. I got them 6.
So we have our top 12 in our first argument already.
Honorable
Yeah.
mentions, okay? All right, these are
Okay,
teams
yeah,
that
honorable
could
mentions.
make it, okay? And I have Ole Miss, okay? I've got them 4th in the SEC. It's possible they get in there. It's possible 4 teams from the SEC get in there. If something happened with BYU or if Notre Dame doesn't get in there, I don't know how that happens either, but it's possible. So, and then I've got Michigan. Okay, Michigan's legit. They're on their way back up. I've got Utah. It's possible they slide past. Texas Tech and BYU. So the only other SEC or ACC team is, I think, Louisville. Okay, so I've got them, and then I also got Clemson in there just because they always seem to be there. So then I have LSU, and then I have James Madison and Tulane. I picked Boise State to make it out of the non-Power 5, but I think James Madison and Tulane are two possibilities as well. Although I do not like Tulane. I don't know why. I just don't like them. But so those are my honorable mentions.
All right. Okay. My honorable mentions. Look, I got Clemson on the bubble. I really wanted to put them in. I got Houston. I was big on Houston in the Big 12. I think they're the third best team behind Texas Tech and BYU, simply because quarterback Connor Weigman. All right, they reloaded in the portal. They did well last year.
Only
29
two
games.
teams from
They
that
can get
conference
better.
get in, and they're just not getting in the
I know.
top two.
Ole
Why?
Miss,
But they're a good team.
Ole Miss and Tennessee. I think Tennessee takes a big step forward, and I think Ole Miss is right there banging on the door. I think LSU possibly. All right, maybe SMU. All right, depending on what they look like. I'm not sure. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have anybody else other than those teams getting in there. I don't have Southern Cal, and I don't have Michigan. I'm not too high on them. So that's what I got. Those are my bubble teams.
Okay, Southern Cal.
Georgia's on the bubble.
Southern Cal and Michigan will both beat Houston.
That's
in a
just
straight-up
criminal,
neutral
Ruben.
field
It's
game.
just criminal. Like Georgia's got to be top 12, man. I mean, like
13. 13.
Anyways,
See,
we'll get to
they're
my
third
bubble teams.
on Sporting News has them third. ESPN.
They just forgot the 1 in front of the 3. That's all.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. That's
Hey, you never know. All right.
This is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
age.
yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
gonna
it-
age
it
like
is-
fine wine.
yeah.
It is. This is gonna be perfect for week 4 conversation because
Exactly.
Stockton.
I'm not sold on him.
I'm not sold. You know what I mean? Do they have studs in Georgia? Yes. Will they get caught speeding? For sure. But are they going to show up and play
Pretty good.
when it's time to play? I don't know, because I'm telling you, every year the culture in that place is not as tight as it was the year before. Period. Like the games that they won last year, barely won. The games
All
that they
right.
were supposed to lose, sometimes they showed up and didn't show up. So
All right,
that's where I'm going.
So tell me this, okay? All right, you got one scholarship left, okay, or one spot or whatever, and you've got Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Tony, okay? Who are you taking?
Tony,
Yeah, I'm taking Tony.
Tony, Tony.
the speed
No,
kills.
He's a more versatile athlete.
He is.
Speed kills.
He can return
disgusting.
punts. He can return.
He
Yes.
is.
He's a more
he is
versatile
incredible.
athlete to put on the field for.
Yep.
Point blank.
He's
And
incredible.
he also knows how to get down correctly and absorb the contact, and he knows how to give the contact. He can tell when not to give it because he knows he's outpowered, so he'll go down. But when he knows that he can give the blow, that's you can't teach that.
Yeah,
You know?
he's elite, man. He's an NFL player.
Yeah, for sure. He could.
All right.
He's probably
He's
the one
a
kid-
fantasy football top 5 pick.
Oh yeah, no
at
doubt.
some point.
He's probably one kid
Yeah.
that can probably be one and done in college and go to the NFL. There's not many kids out there that can do that.
Yep. Lucky for Miami, he's got to
Okay.
stay, and they were able to pay him. So
Right. So yeah.
I think we're going to get into this now because we got our playoff top 12. We understand the matchups if we did go by it, but we could spend forever going on matchups of all of ours because we all got it different. But we relatively, for the most part, at least have the same 8-9 teams with like 3 or 4 different. I think we kind of can see that. But we're going to move on. I'm going to let Ace, and Ace is going to do this with you because he seems to know Clemson a little bit more. Plus, he likes their defensive players. Whatever. So I'm going to let Ruben and Ace go into their Clemson preview. And how I had this structured was I pretty much just had it as y'all are going to go through and you can give game-by-game predictions. Or you can just give an overall view and what you like in terms of coaching staff, players, whatever. This is kind of going to be up to you two.
before they do that, before you go to that far, check this out. So I just realized in my whatever my bracket or whatever would be, you know who would play each other in the first round? 7 and 10 play each other in the first round, right? I got
Yeah.
Texas Tech 10 and Texas 7.
That's funny. That'd be a crazy first round matchup.
That would be good. I would love that.
Well, who's the hosting
Just
team?
let
Who's
me
the
do
hosting?
it.
Who's at what stadium?
And Texas would
It'd be
host at 7.
Texas.
Yeah. Because I got
They'd
Texas
be
Tech
higher.
at 10. That'd be a
That'd be
good game.
disgusting. That'd be,
Oh man.
if that happens, we flying out there.
Yeah, we should-
I'll go.
yeah.
I'll go just to go to Daryl K. Royal for that. Man.
They'd be like, who are you pulling for? I don't know. I'm just here to see the fireworks.
I'm just here to all right. I'm just here to watch football.
All right, Ace, Ruben, y'all go ahead with your Clemson preview.
Yeah,
Just
you
give
can-
your
you
overall
can-
thoughts.
You can start it out, Ace, and I just piggyback off of your stuff.
Yeah, so like my big 3 roster talking points is first, I'd start with the defense. Can Sammy Brown become the face of the entire team? And I think he can. I think not just the defense, the entire face of the team. I think he can do it. I really like him.
Okay, so you got Sammy Brown
Uh,
first.
it's a good question. He's definitely one of the best linebackers we had in a while. Being the face of the team, I don't know. So here's how. I think Chad Morris is going to be the face of the team. And
Okay.
unfortunately, that's because, and I didn't want to jump into this already, but it just happened. And the reason being is because we all know, and I'm pretty sure that we all agree that we don't think that CV is the guy.
Interesting.
So when he had Taj Boyd wasn't a quarterback. He wasn't a guy. He was just great. He only could read the defense. So he set up the offense for him to read half the defense. And it was he started out 8-0, 9-0, something like that before they lost the game. Now he has a garage full of Ferraris. He's got an offensive line of Mack trucks. He's got a running back room of Ferraris and Mack trucks at his disposal. So we don't have to have a superstar at quarterback. We just have to have a game manager. And I feel that Chad could make his talents better, whatever they are, and make this offense hum and keep humming. So do I think Sammy Brown is a hell of a linebacker? No doubt. I feel like based on last year's season, the face of the team is going to be Chad Morris because everybody knows that CV as trash and as Dabo not going in the portal to get a quarterback and making this happen. So
Okay.
All right, Clemson has 2 first-teamers, okay, all ACC, and of course Sammy Brown, and the other one is Hampton, the DB. Okay. Also, Lindy's has Sammy Brown as the Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC.
I also have him as ACC defensive player.
I mean, I guess
in the ACC, yes.
They have him as the Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Disagree.
So you're gonna
He
say
had 106 tackles last year.
You feel like Sammy Brown can be the face of the team, probably will be, and Ruben thinks Chad Morris is. I understand, but I understand what Ruben's saying simply because.
Oh, I 100% do too. I get it.
I get it because you got the architect back that helped kind of build the foundation, and so I get it.
Yep.
I wouldn't be. Who's Clemson's backup?
And the only offensive players.
The backup is going to be playing by week 5.
That's what I was saying. Yes.
You talking about the quarterback?
Tate Reynolds. Yeah.
Tate Reynolds.
Yep.
Tate Reynolds.
Tate Reynolds. And that's
he's a true freshman.
True freshman.
That's a potential Ferrari.
I agree. I don't think Vizina's a bad quarterback. I think he could definitely carry Clemson to this 10-2 record easy. I mean, here I have his SMU stats here. I mean, he's pretty efficient. He was 29 of 42, 317 yards and 3 touchdowns against SMU last year. So I mean, it's not, that's what I mean. I mean, he stacked up in the ACC to a top 3 ACC team, I feel. So I think when you branch out, again, it's so early and we haven't seen him enough to fully know. It's not like, Cade transitioning between, 2 years ago versus last year, where we can accurately depict, hey, what is Cade Klubnik going to do? Okay, I think he'll do this based off of this. Vizina, we've seen him in one game where he did pretty well, and it was against SMU. But when you start to get out of conference and, maybe they do make that playoff run, how far can they go with the kid? Will Reynolds get that starting job at some point? And, hey, Ruben, I agree. He possibly could, man, because, hey, Dabo's going to give that true freshman a shot at some point. All right, and Vizina does not have it locked up. No, it's funny. What's funny? I was talking to a few Clemson guys, and they're sitting over there. They were like, "We believe in Vizina, but we don't believe in Vizina." Is that there's no? It's not like they have Julian saying they don't like they're not like. Don't get me wrong, they're teammates, and every teammate should love your quarterback, but at the same time, if you think a guy's better, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, let's give Reynolds a shot.
You know what Clemson needs? Clemson needs a Lenore Sellers. That's who they need. Clemson needs a Lenore Sellers.
On offense, okay? On the first, second, or third team, the only players Clemson has is Moore and Westco, the 2 receivers.
Which are and that's their thing. And I don't know if Ruben's cut out or whatever, but I'm telling you, Brian Westco and DJ Moore are 2 of the best receivers in the I've watched enough of them to know that they are really, really talented. And then they still got Williams. I don't know if they still have Williams. Maybe not. No, they have what's the other kid's name?
So Clemson has Sammy Brown and
talking about
Ashton
receiver.
Hampton, and
Talking about
then
receiver.
hold on, and then Will Help.
You guys there?
And so on the first three teams,
good.
offense and defense, they only have 5.
I think Bryant Wesco and TJ Moore is 2 of the best receivers in the country, and that's why I think that them dudes are. I've seen enough film on them. And I watched some Clemson games last year, and dude, those guys make plays. You got to get it near them, and they'll just go up and get. They remind me a lot of Sammy and DeAndre a little bit, in the way that they play. I think they complement each other. But I think that's going to be a thing. But Chief, you wanted to ask him something or whatever?
Well, I'm going to go through the schedule, and all you guys answer. So just win or lose, okay? Of course, LSU at LSU.
I think that's a loss just because it's early in the season. Still got to get your feet wet. But I think they go on.
I haven't figured that one out yet, to be honest with you.
I already know what the 2 losses are. So
Georgia Southern, okay,
Win.
everybody's the same. North Carolina,
Win.
all right. October 3rd, Miami at home.
Loss. That's your second loss.
So,
and then wins the rest of the season.
And so this is. I'm not a statistical guy, but here's why I say we win, because I hate analytics. I always try to go over facts. But I can't deny the facts in this one. I have never lost on my birthday. My birthday is October 1st. Any game that's happened at home during that time, I have never lost. So, based on that, I'm going to say we win.
He's not superstitious, but he's a little stitious.
A little bit.
There you go.
Okay,
There you go.
Hey.
I'll take that.
Ruben, I got you. I'll take condolences on your birthday after that loss.
All right.
All
If
right.
Clemson wins that game, if they win that game, they're getting in the playoffs. So
Yes.
yes, I still think Miami would.
So
win,
and then but here's the real reason why I think we win is we lost too many games at home where we never did that in the past, and that last year was that first year of the DC, and he didn't have an opportunity to set his mindset into that defense. He got there in May. He had May to August to put what he had to do and you guys and change a little bit here and there. Now he's had a whole year to change everything.
All right. So if we go with that and that kind of logic holds, then I'll give you guys that win, because then Beamer's never lost at Death Valley. So we go get that win.
It might work. Hey, might work out. Who knows? Anybody get caught with a pants down? Oh, this cop flying around.
Here, okay, so we got mostly got a lot. Let's keep going the schedule.
Charleston Southern.
If it's LSU and Miami, cool. Charleston Southern win.
Yep. Virginia Tech
win. Close
Florida
one.
State.
I think it'll be a good game. Just because Franklin, he did get some guys. I think but Clemson wins.
Florida State.
I got them win.
Syracuse.
Win.
Mike Norville. Win.
Georgia Tech.
Win.
Where's it
win.
at?
They lost too much.
It's at Clemson.
They lost too much.
Don't get me wrong. Hey, don't get me wrong. Georgia Tech is still a tough and physical team.
They're going to be a good.
They still
Clemson wins by 3 touchdowns.
And they still have that running back.
Clemson wins by 4 touchdowns, and they play their third string guys that game.
All right, then at Duke.
Yeah, and Clemson.
At Duke,
win.
and then South Carolina.
Because there's
win. And South Carolina could be a toss-up, but I'm giving Clemson the edge.
So you're saying, Drew, you're saying 10-2. Ruben's saying 11-1.
Yeah,
correct.
Okay, and Ace, you're saying 10-2.
Yes, 10-2.
Okay, all right.
That's a good. I mean, look, and I think
11-1 puts them in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs if they're
10-2 on the edge.
Well, they're going to the ACC championship if they're 11-1.
Well,
especially if they beat Miami,
10-2,
they're obviously going to win.
Yeah, and if they were to go 10-2 and then 10-3 if they lost to Miami, then or if they beat Miami, of course, but if they lose to Miami twice, they're 10-3. They're in the ACC championship. They're still in there. I mean, they might be like seeded 9, 10, 11, but they're in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. And look, Clemson's, here's the thing, okay? Their absolute floor, the absolute worst, if everything went wrong, it's 9-3. And that's if everything goes wrong to me. If everything goes right, you could look at a 12-0 season, right? So ceiling 12-0, floor 9-3, 10-11 wins as the middle ground, that's a good prediction to me. And that's about where they can be. What realistically could happen. That's my thing. So, and I think the defense is going to be very good. And I do like Tom Allen. It's like Ruben said. Tom Allen got there very late. He got there later than most coaches. Most coaches are hired in December. He got hired in May, and he didn't have as much time as most people do to instill a scheme and a mindset. It was tough. And you saw that last year. They looked out of place. And that was one of Clemson's biggest problems is it looked like they didn't let their defensive guys just go sometimes. It's like they were kind of limited in certain aspects.
Well,
and I think
just
that was part of not knowing the scheme.
They also don't play Louisville or SMU. So the only top team they play is Miami. I mean, they play the best team, but they don't play the other two teams.
And
I think there's four teams contending in that conference.
Yeah, and we get them at home.
Half of them.
We don't play Louisville
Miami at home. Nope, don't play Louisville, and you don't play SMU. Your toughest game outside of Miami and LSU might well be South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, Virginia Tech's not going to be. They got a good coach that wins, that knows what he's doing.
They'll have a first half. They're going to have a first half. They have a different mindset, but that's it.
So other than that, I mean, unless Georgia Tech finds a way to use that hex thing they have or something, otherwise, you're looking at four possible and only 4 possible losses. So 8-4 and then ceiling 12-0. So I'm with that.
Yeah, that's just what I have. I mean, that's my thing.
And then
now
on the superlatives, okay, the only Lindy's has one person, and they've got Wesco as best hands in the ACC.
Probably. I mean, Wesco's just he's definitely the best.
Yeah, he has some crazy one-handed catches last season.
It's too bad they didn't have Kelly Bryant and Bryant Wesco there together. You know, it'd be like Haynes King and the running back for Georgia Tech.
Right. Justice Haynes.
It could have been Bryant, passes to Bryant.
But no, Ruben, I wanted you to get in. You kind of are seeing the side of what's in that building, especially the recruits that you pick up and stuff like that. I didn't know if you wanted to give any kind of what you're seeing and what's going on and anything different.
So phenomenally different. So, of course, Clemson is getting into the bag now and paying high school players like that we wasn't doing before. So that makes the difference. It's night and day.
You have to. If you don't, you're doomed.
Yeah, you're going to be left behind. But granted, he's not paying like everybody else is paying. And this, so here's the other reason. And I know that FIFA is going on good, Ace, but you're gonna flip on this part right here. This is the main reason why I feel Georgia is going to miss out on their opportunity this year. Is because their culture is falling, and the recruiting trail has told us that completely. The top dogs out of Georgia has not went to Georgia. They've gone to Clemson, 3 of them, to Texas, 3 of them, to Florida State, 1 of them, another 2. What I'm getting at is all the top dogs of Georgia are leaving Georgia. They're not even going to the state. We took the best 4-star offensive lineman out of Georgia that was down to Georgia and Clemson, and he took $100,000 less to go to Clemson, right? That's one thing. Jab, the best defensive cornerback out of the state of Alabama, the number 1 cornerback out of Alabama. He's rated as safety. He's the number 1 safety out of the state of Alabama. Alabama's not even on their list. His last 2 schools was Georgia, Clemson. He picked Clemson.
Georgia finished 6th in this year's recruiting, and that's the first time since before. Well, not this year, this past year. Right. At a 2026 class. That's the first time they've been outside the top 5 since before Kirby.
And now watch what happens with this year. It'll be out the top 10.
They are
100%. No,
look that up.
I see what you mean.
I'm gonna look it up real
but
quick.
Here's my thing with this whole recruiting. And hey, I know how important it is to get athletes within your own state. Okay, I 100% get that. But I'm sure it is the exact same when I know hella athletes in South Carolina who are going down to Florida to play ball because they don't give up for the players here. Okay, and that's just the truth. Okay, it happens everywhere,
that
man.
Are leaving South Carolina,
money talks, Ruben.
That, Drew.
Money talks.
Oh yeah, but are those players that are leaving the state of South Carolina, are they that good?
I think some of them, yeah.
Some of them, yeah. But all the players I'm telling you that left Georgia, they're disgusting. Yeah. They should not leave. And if you got more money and they're leaving, it ain't got nothing to do with the money. It's the culture, and that's what I'm getting at.
Let me give you this, okay? Ruben's correct. They were at 6 last year. That's where they finished in recruiting on 2026's class. Yeah. 2027, Georgia's currently at 18 right now.
Wow.
Look at that.
They
3 times worse.
This is the first time They've been outside. I mean, they're dropping. Now the thing is they've got 2 5-stars, but the problem is that by this point Georgia normally has 30 recruits. They only have 17 total, so they're getting less and less people. So their overall blue chip ratio, and their composite rating has dropped significantly.
Okay.
So check this out. In 2026, only 2 teams are in the top 18 that are not Big Ten or SEC. You know who those are?
Clemson and South Carolina?
No. We're in the SEC. We're 14.
Oh, you said ACC or SEC? Just
No,
ACC
no,
or SEC or Big Ten?
There's only 2 teams that aren't in the top 18. There's only 2 teams that are in the top 18 that are not SEC or Big Ten.
Clemson's 1?
No.
Texas Tech?
No. Clemson was 20. No.
Texas
Tech was 19.
What? Notre Dame?
Nope. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's 1. Yeah, obviously they have to be in there.
The other one's kind of easy if you think about it. The best ACC team.
Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Yep. Notre Dame was 5.
yeah.
Miami was
Notre Dame,
9.
Miami.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
USC, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Georgia,
Wow.
Texas, Tennessee, Miami, and A&M. Now, 2027, A&M will be way up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No
saying.
doubt.
They're number 1 right now. A&M's number 1, and that's why. Look, that's why I'm so hot. Look, Mike Elko is a real coach.
You know what else is kind
Yeah, I
of
love
weird?
them.
You look at 2026, and I'm looking for something particular here. Okay, so not in the top 25 is Indiana, but if you go to the portal,
Indiana's at the top 3, number 1.
Yeah.
Indiana's the portal getter. That's why Indiana's the portal.
he's
they're
the
the portal.
anti-Dabo.
I mean, they got Mark Cuban as the bank. You
Oh, yeah.
say no?
They
Yeah.
do that.
So,
yeah.
so speaking of that, Ruben, were there a lot of interest? Was there a lot of possibilities for Sammy Brown? Because he obviously, there should have been offers for him to probably
So
more money.
For my understanding, there was a lot more money, almost double than what he's getting right now. But he wanted to stay. Reason being, I didn't hear, but
Clemson
the
girls.
guy, like I was saying earlier, the pep and the step in the building is crazy. I mean, I've not seen it. I've only been in there. I've been in there more often this past year than I ever have, but I've not seen it like this. And it's crazy. I saw Chad Morris at like the big official visit recruiting weekend. I took Jab down there. I took Alexander, who ended up going with Notre Dame, which that kid out of Rayburn County, he's a phenomenal story. He was in 2A school his freshman year and wasn't getting any looks, switched to a 3A or 4A school, finally got some looks, and he went Rick Abbott last year, and now he's a 4-star kid. He lives at that private school in Rayburn County. His dad is from Ghana. His mom is another country in Africa. He's here in Georgia without his parents, wreaking havoc, 4-point-something GPA, making a name for himself. And he really, 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 really loved Clemson. I swear to God, I thought he was going to come to Clemson. And then he finally picked Notre Dame. And I was like, man, I wonder what it was. And then the light went off. Nah, his family lives in Toronto. You know how easy it is to get to Indiana to Notre Dame from Toronto?
Yeah.
So now he gets to see his family more often.
Location.
Exactly. So it's a real estate thing. So it's, a lot of times it's funny how we think it's money. Some of these kids really want to be around family because he hasn't been around his family since the 7th grade.
Yeah, I get that.
So
Makes sense.
I get it. Stories like that is great. The kid is phenomenal. He's just a good kid. The questions he was asking, the stuff that he was saying, 6'5", 280, and he's 17 years old with no fat on him. I'm like, what the hell? So it was cool to see that. And the whole time he was like, man, he's never met Dabo. And his 3 things that he wanted when he wanted to become a better man, the best family man he can be, the best Christian guy he can be for his kids, and to figure out something after football. I was like, damn, this guy's gonna sign today.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah, you would think Dabo could have closed that.
Right there, right.
This guy's he's looking for exactly what Dabo's selling. So
Exactly. And he stood
but listen,
in
man, the pull of your family is huge, man. So
all day. All day.
Good for the kid that it worked out for him.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm sorry. I even sent him a text. I'm saying, I'm hurt that you're not with us, but I'm happy for you and your family because your mom deserves it. And he said, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's wild. Man, all right. Well, so I think we've come to the consensus that we have Clemson at 10-2, 11-1. At least Ruben has 11-1. Me and Ace have 10-2.
I still got them 9-3. So.
All right, 9-3.
I'm surprised on Steve. I figured Steve had us at 0-12.
Yeah, 2-10. I'll give you Georgia Southern and Oh, California is terrible. No, I'm just kidding. They might make a bowl. Let's see. Yeah, Georgia Southern. Oh, North Carolina. Man, they are
Carolina.
terrible.
Belichick.
Oh my gosh, they're terrible.
So scared of that guy.
You got that rough start against LSU, but then you've got Georgia Southern, North Carolina, and California. So worst case scenario, worst case.
So let me ask
y'all.
To
play Miami at 3-1.
Let me ask y'all that, Chief and Drew. If Clemson comes out and blows the doors off of LSU, what's your thoughts then? What's the outlook and thoughts?
That's going to be hard because LSU is going to put up some points. But
here's the thing: if they beat them,
if they beat
they're 11-1
by more than 2 touchdowns, Miami's the only team that can touch them. If they're able to do that, they're that good.
I'd say 11-1
so
at least.
I had LSU 6th in the SEC.
I still don't think you're gonna blow the doors off Miami because I think Miami's on a different level than LSU.
But if
Miami,
you blew out LSU,
is the game of the year.
Yeah, well, if you blew out LSU, or if you beat them by 2 touchdowns, and then you just find a way to sneak out of that Saturday game against Miami with a win, it doesn't matter. All right, Miami is a top 3 everywhere. Miami is number 7 in Lindy's. They're number 7. They're anywhere from 5 to 7 everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I had them second.
I like the quarterback they're getting this year better than the one they had last year.
Mensa,
the one they stole from Duke.
Yeah.
So the quarterback and wide receiver. So
I mean, dude, Carson Beck is okay. He's not, and they still.
He's a game manager. He's a game manager.
They got, because every time Carson Beck tries to do something, spectacular, he tries to go Brett Favre if he throws a pick. So with Mensa, that's another thing, and they've got the best offensive weapon, I think, in the country. Yeah.
So nasty, boy.
And
disgusting.
Yeah, and one thing that you are always going to see when you look at a crystal ball coach team, okay, is tough, tough line play, tough trenches.
Well, yeah, they're going to be in the trenches. They're going to be tough.
Yeah, they look good in the trenches. Last year, man, hold on, let me find it. I got to find this.
Like I said, Ruben, while he's finding it, look, if y'all beat LSU, I'm sitting here like, okay, Clemson's at least 11-1. Miami's really the only team that I'm thinking, okay, that's the only challenge, Yeah. I mean, I don't even think we are.
Right.
I thought it was close. They beat Notre Dame last year.
We can.
And Notre Dame made it close near the end, but they bullied Notre Dame in the trenches most of that game.
Here in a minute, we'll go to South Carolina in a minute, and Ruben will see what I have. South Carolina at 8-4, and I think that's the best that we can get.
I'm 7-5. I got 7-5.
I haven't looked at the schedule, so I can't.
But I'm gonna
give it
the floor is 4-8. Okay. We went 4-8 last year, which is certainly at least be that.
Floor is not 4-8. Floor is not 4-8. Y'all are crazy. This team is like twice as good as last year's team. It's not even close.
Yeah, but that's the floor.
It's gonna be
okay.
So,
and I think the ceiling is 9.
But I think the floor, say 4-8 is the floor when this team will be twice as. This team's way better. It's not even close.
Hey, so
to me, this is Beamer's best team.
Kendall Briles is better than any coordinator that we have had at South Carolina. Going back as far as I can remember, that includes Spurrier.
What's the FIFA score?
They play tomorrow.
They
play tomorrow.
USA?
America play tomorrow?
Somebody's playing right now. The U.S. plays tomorrow, but somebody's playing right now, isn't there?
All right, y'all talk about it. I barely care about the U.S.
Brazil,
I don't care
Brazil
about
and Norway. That's right. It's still 0-0.
Norway.
Yeah. But here, we'll go through South Carolina's. We'll go through our schedule. And I'll give you mine. I'll give you my game-by-game predictions, and we'll do this, okay? So first, we got Kent State. It's going to be a tough one, man, but I think we'll win it. Towson, that's a win. We got Mississippi State at home. That's a win. Okay, so you're 3-0 to start the season. We got at Alabama, and I think we're going to win because we had them beaten the fourth quarter the last 2 years. We had them beaten that last quarter, and this team is different this year. Better offense, an actual offensive coordinator.
I'll tell you what, if Alabama pulls that lazy crap that they pull sometimes because they don't have the discipline they had under Saban, then I think Kendall Briles will run up the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
you let a couple of a couple guys on the back end of the defense get lazy with the kind of weapons we have.
Yeah.
I mean,
and here's the thing, okay? It's Sellers, but you got Nick Harbor is going to be activated in the Kendall Briles offense. And that's the biggest deep threat in college. To me, it's the biggest deep threat in college football. Just singular deep threat. He gets behind the defense. Goodbye. Yeah. See ya.
I meant to say this earlier, but all right. So my breakout player for South Carolina this year on offense is Mazeo Bennett.
Yeah, Mazio's good.
If
Mazio's, he's not going to be.
Seen him up close.
If he
He's legit.
hasn't put on at least 14 pounds, you might want to pick somebody else up because
First
he's
of all,
going to get demolished.
Nah,
if
he's gotten bigger.
Put no weight on.
He's got great hands.
I
we
used
just
to coach
need
him.
to be able to get him the ball.
I used to coach him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have us beating Alabama, right? I have us beating Kentucky at home. So here we are at 5-0. Then we go to Florida. I think John Summerall's a good coach. I think Florida's going to have a good team. I think we beat them. I think we're 7-0. And this is crazy. You're like, South Carolina 7-0. I think we beat Tennessee and go 8-0. But this is where the schedule falls apart for me. We got at Oklahoma. I think we lose. We got A&M. We lose. We got Arkansas.
We're going to win that, though. Yeah.
We got Georgia. That's a loss. And we got Clemson. That's a loss. So I have us at 8-4. I think you lose 4 of your last 5 games. I think you start off freaking, 7-0. I mean, you start off 7-0. And I think South Carolina fans are going crazy and we're back and all this stuff. And then the second half of the season, it's going to get you. It's going to bite you in the butt because you got at Oklahoma, A&M, and Georgia. Now, you got Georgia and A&M at home, and that's cool. We could find a way to beat Georgia. Whatever, right? But we always lose that 1 or 2 games that we shouldn't lose. And I think it's going to bite us in the butt at the end of the season. I think we go 8-4.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, we will probably be.
And you know what?
Our schedule.
You say Mazio Bennett.
More than 8-4.
You say Mazio Bennett is your breakout player. I want to introduce you to Matt Fuller, the RB1 for the Gamecocks, who's about to have an absolute monster year with Sellers.
Yeah, but where did he transfer from? Where did he transfer from?
He's been with us. He committed
Fuller?
to us. Yeah, he was there last year.
Okay.
He was the one. Fuller was the dude when we're playing A&M last year.
Hold on, who's the transfer? I was listening on the radio the other day, and these guys were, and they were. One guy was talking about Fuller, and
Fuller is the guy. So Fuller is the guy who ran that 78-yard touchdown against A&M last year, and they didn't give the ball to him the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Ridiculous. Literally hits a hole, breaks 3 tackles, and is gone 78 yards. And
I don't think Kendall Briles will do that
the rest of the game.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get that kind of move from Kendall Briles.
Matt Fuller is our RB1. And then we also got Christian Clark as our RB2. He's transferred from Texas.
That's what I was talking about. Clark.
He was the backup in Texas last year.
Yeah. Okay, I got those confused because I was thinking, well, you can't be a breakout player if you're a starter somewhere else and you were good. So, okay, I'll give you that one, Drew. Also, if you look at it, so if South Carolina goes 7-0, that means we're probably ranked 10, 11, 12, or whatever. All right, and then we play Oklahoma at Oklahoma. Okay. So that's a game day, man. That could be a game day. Because at that point, Oklahoma's schedule gets tough too at the end. We both in the same boat there. So it's very possible you could have, I have to look at whatever happens that week, but we play them on October. We play them on Halloween.
Wow. We do good. Yep. We do good in Halloween games. We beat Tennessee 66-35 in that 38 in that Halloween game. So
it reminds me. I haven't seen Toby in a while, but yeah, man, he caught that touchdown.
Yeah.
But hey, when we were coaching at Greenville, I would at least once a week, and I'd have been like Halloween, baby.
Toby,
I see him on the golf course every now and then.
Yeah,
dude.
Is he still with Spinks? He's like kind of a bigwig there or something. Yeah,
we've been there for a long time.
Yeah,
got to be like a regional owner. You got to be an owner or a franchisee at this point.
He's a big.
My expectations for South Carolina are 8-4. I think 7-5, 6-6 are realistic for most fans. I think you have an improved offense. I think you have a solid defense. I don't think you have enough talent to get past some of the schedule, and by that I mean the back end. And I think that's your problem. But
I agree.
Lenore Sellers and Kendall Briles' offense is going to be a major uplift. Look at Kendall Briles' last couple quarterbacks, and you'll see, Sellers is going to take a giant leap forward this year. And the offensive line has been the problem, and Beamer added a lot in the portal. We got the best offensive tackle in the portal, and Jacarius Peak from NC State. We're going to be good on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So
read those first 7 games off again.
Finally, because we've been so terrible.
Kent State, Towson, Mississippi State, at Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, and Tennessee.
Florida's a road game.
Out of those 5 conference games, I know you got the winner of them all. 3 out of those 5 is Beamer in the hot seat.
If you lose 3 out of those 5, Yeah, 100%. This is a
Yeah,
proven
because
team.
you're going to
I agree.
lose. You only got one more win on the schedule.
If
Yeah,
it's only 2 of those games, is the on the hot seat.
Unless Ruben's right
Yes.
and we beat Georgia.
See, I think y'all beating Georgia. And that's what I'm getting
Oh
at.
man.
Because Georgia's at the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
think it's
Georgia,
that? You think it's
and
Georgia's
Clemson.
trap game?
I agree. I think.
Yeah, it could be a trap game for Georgia. Who knows? I mean, there's always one of the, every team has a trap game
Every
every
team
year.
got one. Yeah, every team got one.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
if we're good, Kirby won't. He won't. I mean, Kirby's a good coach in big games. Okay, so Georgia. Well, they have Missouri, and then us
Missouri's
and Georgia
also
Tech.
one you have to watch out for too.
Exactly.
Missouri's not a slouch. I don't have them finishing as high.
They're
but
like
they have potential.
14, 15 total points of last year's season of being 3 spots ahead of where they finished at. There's like 3 games they lost by a total of like 10 points, I think.
I don't like Missouri.
I don't either.
In
I'm not
conference.
as high, but I don't know a whole lot about.
I mean, they're good. They're good. I mean, they drink.
Yeah, the quarterback, the coach is pretty cool.
I don't like those. I don't like Weasley offensive coordinators, and that's what he sees.
He don't like Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
That's why.
Don't like him.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Don't like him.
He is a goofball. He's a nerd, but he's a good coach. Good offensive guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and he
But wasn't a good coach. Just said I don't like him.
But yeah, I have South Carolina 8-4. So we have set Clemson basically in the 10 to 11 win range for most of us. We have South Carolina in the 7 to 8 win. Ruben could probably see 9, I guess, if we could beat Georgia or some other team. I mean, I get that. I don't know, Ace. What do you think about South Carolina? What did you have them as? You had 6-6 or 7-5?
We're more likely to beat Oklahoma than Georgia.
No shot that we ever get close to beating Georgia. You are all absolutely delusional.
Oh.
You are the most
Hey,
delusional people
shot.
to walk the planet
Hey,
Earth.
we beat
Ace,
Georgia on
I'm
the road
with
with
you.
Muschamp. Hey, we beat Georgia a couple years ago with Muschamp on the road.
Not this Georgia this year. Okay.
It was a Kirby
Ace, I'm
Georgia.
with you.
It was a
I'm
Kirby-led
joking.
Georgia. It was a Kirby-led Georgia in year 3.
What's so big about this team right here, Ace?
It's
I'm
Kirby
lost.
Smart's team, man. I mean,
Oh.
just look at their current roster, man. They just
Yeah, but
They got the
what you're
talent.
saying
Yeah,
is-
most of
look, Ruben. They are
Yeah.
legit SEC contenders to win it. Okay, this year they can win the SEC championship.
I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm saying they're not.
100%.
They got the talent, but they're just not.
Here's the thing, though.
All right, let me ask you this. All right, if you go back to your high school wrestling team,
Okay.
and there's 8 hot shots on that team, they don't know who you are. Don't give a shit who you are. Don't give a damn about your resume. But yeah, you're trying to instill talent and wisdom into them, right?
Okay.
But those kids are getting a check right now. So they definitely don't give a shit what you got to say. That's Georgia's problem right now. Georgia's got a bunch of employees that don't have a contract, that don't have to answer to anybody, that don't have to
Isn't
get the
that
money
every
back.
team? Isn't that every team?
That's not what I'm not saying though. I'm saying Georgia can't control it because that is every team.
Now,
And
I
if-
don't know.
if-
I
if-
see
if-
players talk about how much
Let me-
they love
let me-
Kirby
let me-
Smart
let
all
me
the
get
time
to
and love
what-
him as a coach. And
let me alleviate kind of Ruben's point, and it's what I'm
also,
seeing
hey,
too.
recruiting has no chance of you winning the Natty. Hey, 2024
No.
and 2025, Indiana
It's
wasn't even in the
development.
top 50 of recruiting.
All right,
Okay.
it's development in the portal. That's all.
So
that's what it
I
is.
get it. I get it. Also,
That's-
it's very
that's
early
elite.
right now. Guys
Okay.
sign all over the summer. Okay, all over the
Oh,
summer. We see that.
Ace,
It's still
hold
early on.
Let me give you something, okay? What Ruben is saying is Georgia's culture is deteriorating, and the reason being
Period.
is because one, they're actually having more issues with players off the field now. Two,
Everywhere
he just brought
has
up the
that.
point. He brought up the
Everywhere
point.
has that.
Not much is Georgia. How often do you hear about Indiana or Alabama or Clemson or South Carolina players getting arrested in the offseason for Georgia?
Georgia's always been like that.
So here's the thing, all right? You have that, all right? You look at what is going on inside their state with recruiting. I looked at it. I've been fact checking on the fly. A lot of their big guys are leaving that state. Georgia's having problems retaining in the state, and they're having issues even recruiting outside the state. Okay, and two, like he said, they're having an issue. Kirby Smart is all about you're going to be hard nosed and tough, and you're going to he's too hard nosed. Signetti is like that, but Signetti has a balance. Kirby is too much, and it's not. You're starting to see Georgia slide a little bit, and they're also not getting.
Strange because
I'm not saying Georgia's going to be Georgia 5 years from now, But right now, Georgia can still do it. Georgia is still
that.
Georgia
I
is
get
still a
that.
playoff team.
How many people?
Georgia is just as much a playoff team as Miami, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Oregon, Texas A&M, Texas.
I agree. On paper, I agree. But you got to get 18 to 22-year-old boys to be on the same page of the same chapter of the same book Monday through Friday. And I don't see Kirby doing that anymore like he used to. My opinion, based on what I'm seeing, on what's going on. He also had a shitload of people hit the portal from his last contending championship team.
Everybody
that's no longer there.
There's only three active coaches in college football with national championships.
Dabo, Kirby, and Cignetti.
Dabo, Kirby, and Cignetti.
Well,
yep.
Day.
And so,
Day.
Oh yeah, Ryan Day. That's right.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Ryan
it.
Day. Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
And so, and Dabo and Kirby are tied at 2. So Day and Cignetti have 1 each, but Cignetti hadn't had a whole lot of chances. Ryan Day's been there 10 years now?
Yep.
8, 9.
He's
10
been
years,
up and down.
So,
He's just been up and down.
Yeah, because when they played in that semifinal, he was at Clemson, or he was there. He was the head coach when they played Clemson in that first.
Now, here's one thing I'd like to implement. Clemson, here's one thing I'd like to say, and then we'll probably get to closing thoughts or whatever. But Dabo and Clemson have regressed the last couple of years than where they used to, right? Kirby, to me, Ace, could be hitting that point where he has to figure out something and change something, or he might fall a little bit off in the next couple of years.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And I think that's what Ruben is getting at.
But we're talking about Georgia
Kirby's
this year.
downfall.
That's my thing.
I know.
I'm saying that for this year.
Yeah, he's saying that this year starts Kirby's downslide, and he's going to have to make adjustments.
They're just as likely. To win the SEC as anybody else.
And that's fine. You could think that.
I don't think that.
There's a reason that I had Georgia at 3rd.
Analysts who get paid so much money think this
mentality. You get paid what?
You said you had the same mentality.
Anyway, I was saying I'm one of the biggest fans. And back then, when I didn't want to believe there was going to be a downfall, it was the downfall. And that's where I think Georgia's at now. We had talent, but we let go of the culture. They let go of the reins somewhere. Dabo hired the wrong OC and DCs, and it didn't work out. He had to put his foot in his mouth and make the changes. And I think we see the difference in those this year. And that's why I think the differences in Georgia this year will take a step back like we did. I think the roles are Clemson and Georgia are taking 2 steps in opposite directions. We're going forward, they're going back. As they went forward, we went back. It's going to be the opposite this time.
All right, so here we go. So Georgia's schedule: Tennessee State, win. Western Kentucky, Arkansas,
win.
Oklahoma,
win.
Okay, I'll go with that. Vanderbilt,
win.
Alabama,
win.
Auburn.
They lost.
Yeah, Auburn's not very good.
I don't know what Auburn's got. Let's probably win.
But so you're saying they lose to Alabama too?
Yes.
Alabama, okay. And
Struggle
then Florida,
they could easily lose that one. Trap game.
Okay.
There's a trap
and
game.
then it is. Yep. Ole Miss.
They could lose that one. Ole Miss is good,
Yep.
man.
Missouri.
Okay, he's got lost. Missouri, up in there. They could win that one.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
At home. They got Missouri at home.
Georgia at home.
Georgia will win that one.
And then at South Carolina. And then Georgia Tech.
Win that. South Carolina home field advantage.
So you got them 8-4. Yeah, so he's got them 8-4. That keeps them out of the playoffs.
Right, and that's all I'm saying. 13.
I think the
Ole
Miss
Ace
is the toughest game.
Watch him go undefeated.
Ace is so mad right now.
Hey, so I'll buy you 2
Rage
steaks if I'm wrong. Because I know you eat one in like 2 seconds. So if I'm wrong, I'm going to buy you 2 steaks. And I'm going to put them on the grill. You can have them whenever you want. But if I'm right, all you got to say, you're right, Uncle.
That's it.
Right,
That's it.
Bet.
He said bet.
Let him run it. I like that.
All right. So we got Georgia between 8-0 and 12, or 8-4 and 12-0. Okay.
Yeah. Depends. But no, it's a very slippery schedule for them. They get some road games that's going to be tough, including us. It's going to be tough. We're not going to let them just beat us down. It's not going to happen. I think we'll play them.
Especially as y'all always play them good at South Carolina.
Yeah, and we do play Georgia very well, usually.
28-10.
That's the final score. That was the final score. That's not how this game went.
Any final thoughts?
Michael's the new favorite uncle now.
Oh man,
you're funny. No, you're
no. It's probably Michael.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Michael don't got me beat. Michael got me beat.
Dang man, come on. All right, anybody final thoughts? We
Never.
can wrap it up.
You're good, Ruben.
I get the wings.
There ain't much comp.
Yeah, everybody give their final thoughts. Let's go. Final thoughts, predict whatever. Any bold predictions you got, let's get it.
I'm saying Miami, Indiana in the national championship game again. Same result.
All right.
Indiana has the best defense in the country.
All right, let's do it.
I'm not for the Georgia slander, so not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Not this year.
Ace has Georgia winning it all now.
He'll be on.
Get them fourth. So
Ruben, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I stick to my guns. I think Georgia takes a couple steps back. I can't pick. I'm gonna do like I did last year. Last year, I picked Indiana in week 4 based on what I seen them do demolish the 4 teams prior. Week 5, them demolishing the 4 teams back. So I'll take a pick later on in the season. I don't even think my top 4 anybody's gonna be there. This season, I think is gonna be the craziest.
this is going to be a good
college
one.
football. Yeah, I think like every year has been great. Like even with March Madness in basketball, every year you're like, oh man, nothing can get better than this. Last year was phenomenal. It was, and even with FIFA, I know y'all not into soccer. I'm not into soccer. I've been watching every one of these games. The drama behind it is I just feel like it's going to be the same thing in college football.
If we didn't have baseball, football, and basketball, then nobody would come close to beating us in soccer. Okay.
Yeah, if we didn't have those 3 sports taken
Agreed.
over.
Agreed.
No.
Look at what you got out there now. Put a Malachi Tony, okay, on that team and have him played in soccer since he's 4. Okay. They would be like, that Messi guy, if he could get 200 times better, he could be on the same field as Malachi Tony.
I didn't realize how
true.
small Messi was. Look, when they did the lineup for his own team, like his top of his head was at the sternum of the guy next to him.
Listen,
What the hell's
man,
going on here?
Saquon Barkley is dribbling the ball down the court, how they do with their feet or whatever.
Right.
All right. Who's getting in his way? Okay. It would not even be the same. And then even the goalies, man, we'd be unstoppable.
You're right.
That's the
No, I get
problem.
it.
They are not getting our primary athletes, not even our tertiary guys. Okay, they're getting our 5th and 6th level players, and this is the best guy the other countries have. This is the best athletes they have playing soccer.
No, you're right.
Most
You're
of them.
right.
So,
You're right.
and that's another
Ace.
thing is in football. If football became a world sport or Olympic
You gonna
sport or
get
something, the rest of the world it'd take them 1,000 years to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay. Football's too complex. You have to have diversity. You have to have linemen, linebackers, quarterback. Yeah, coaches, receiving. It's just too much. That's required to be successful. It wouldn't even be funny if the rest of the world got a team together and a team of pro guys, 25 to 30-year-old people in their prime, the rest of the world, and then they went and they played South Carolina's backups. We win by 50 points. Okay, when they throw the towel in the middle of the second quarter. That's the truth.
No, I know.
This is true.
But anyway, Ace, you got any final thoughts? He gonna give the silent. Ace always does this. He'll just stand there like a statue. Georgia national champions. That's Ace's
Georgia.
final thoughts. Georgia, Natty. Chief, you got anything?
No, man, it was a good show. Like I said, that was my closing, man. Indiana and Miami again.
Same. I'm gonna go ahead and make my prediction.
I like
I'm
the
gonna say
coaches.
I'm gonna say Indiana and
players.
Texas. I'm gonna say Indiana and Texas, and I'm
That's a
gonna
good
pick
one. I
Indiana.
like that. I like
So-
that.
That's legit.
Oh, you didn't do the Heisman stuff.
No,
We have to get that
we have
next
to get to
week.
that later.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll have
that
to get
later.
that next one. But anyways, all right. Well, that's it. That wraps up episode 12 of the Tailgate Show. Appreciate you, Ruben, coming on. We got another guest on, and that's cool. We can have him on in the future. So appreciate you
All
coming.
right, hey,
Hope you enjoyed it.
if I had to pick it right now, Tony
Tony
he's gonna get
Heisman. Okay.
He is going to put up some numbers this year.
Okay. We'll get to the discussion in
I
superlatives.
will go with that. I probably second that right now too.
Mhm.
I haven't looked deep into it, but I would say
Me either, but he
Well,
jumps
look-
right to my mind. That's a good pick.
Let's look into some.
and
and
his
we'll do it next
quarterback.
week.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me know. We'll figure it out.
Yep. Appreciate
All right,
you coming
sounds
on,
good.
brother.
Yeah, man. Do it again.
All right.
See you, Ruben.
See y'all.
See
Later.
y'all. And stop.